Today I will begin by sharing an experience. Yesterday there was one mother and her son. They came to the center, and the son had a complaint with the mother. He said that we are two brothers, and my younger brother, he's just 2 years younger to me, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't work, he doesn't earn. He's 32 years of age, but he never even attempts, fending for himself, or he doesn't even think about taking care of the family. And I'm settled abroad. I take care of all the expenses of the family. I work, I take responsibility. But my mother is only concerned about the younger son. My mother is never concerned about me. And he kept saying that my mother doesn't even care whether, I'm fine or not. And she's only concerned about the one who doesn't do anything for her. So, and the mother was sitting there, and I did not feel that the mother disagreed. So, there also she only kept talking about the younger son, that he has this problems and that problems. And then I was just thinking, people say that parents are not biased, or of course they are not biased, but why is this situation happening? So you see, Baba tells us that we are very body conscious. So body consciousness has many aspects. And one aspect is you do not remain aware of the one you are not perceiving with the five senses. Yes, so it is said, out of sight, out of mind. Now you see, even if you are sending money monthly, you're still out of sight. And the one who is not doing anything is not out of sight, they are in front of you. So, the one who is before you, with you, they will have more impact on your mind. Doesn't matter whether they are doing good to you or bad to you. But a body conscious soul is such that the one who is even, hurting you, or the one who is not concerned about you, or the one who doesn't even care about you, they will hold a bigger space in your heart, in your mind, than the one who is actually caring about you, because that one is in front of you. And this is the thing about body consciousness. So body in a state of body consciousness, the soul is limited by the physical sense organs, and the mind is attached to sense perception. So whatever you see, hear, whatever environment you are in, they impact your thoughts, feelings, condition of the mind hugely. And this is the sign of body consciousness. So you just see, Baba tells us that Baba has come, and we very well understand it's not like you are sitting in the class and you don't have faith that Baba has come. Of course you have faith. Of course you have faith that Baba is teaching you, and you have love for Baba also. But still, why are you not remembering Baba? Because you are remembering those who you can see and hear and touch and feel. And this is in this physical world, your sense perception dominates the mind. And the difference between being soul conscious and being body conscious is the body conscious sees through the eyes, and the soul conscious sees through the intellect. So you see that which you hold in the intellect when you are soul conscious. So even if you can't see Baba, you hold Baba in your awareness, because that Baba is the one you have all relationships with. when you are soul conscious. So the knowing prevails over the seeing and hearing when you're soul conscious. And when you're body conscious, then the hearing and seeing will prevail over the knowing and understanding. So even if you know something, when you're body conscious, you will not be able to be aware of it. And you see, um, just think about, why do we care so much about physical comfort and not, spiritual well-being of somebody? So, even, for the ones we love the most, we will never let them sleep hungry, but we don't even think twice before damaging them emotionally. Or we don't even show a lot of concern. So you don't think about whether what impact your words are having on them, or what impact the environment is having on them. You don't look at those things, but you care so much about that person, because that you don't let them sleep hungry, or you don't fulfill their demand for clothes or other stuff. So you will give them everything physically, but then you will damage them emotionally through your words, or your the environment you're creating, or your lack of love and attention. And that is never paid attention to. Why? Because you can't see it. So that which you can't see is fine, but that which you can see disturbs you. So this is the thing about body consciousness. Body consciousness makes you very attached to the sense perception, and whatever you can see and hear prevails over what you know and understand. And Baba today also says that body consciousness is a very big problem, and because of body consciousness you make mistakes. And what are mistakes? So uh, before any karma, there is a discernment and decision that takes place. So you are discerning, you are deciding, and then acting. And that discernment and decision making is done through the intellect. So have you seen the picture of the intellect? It has a weighing scale. So the intellect is depicted as a weighing scale, weighing things, weighing situations, weighing choices. And then you see, when you're body conscious, you can't see half the picture. So you are not even, half the picture is not in your awareness. So definitely your discernment and decision making is flawed, because when you don't take into account all the factors, then obviously the result that you're coming up with is flawed. And just look at, I'll give you another example. Just look at how we treat little children. So if a small child, maybe a 3-month-old child or a 4-month-old child is in the room, then do you even recognize that they are in the room? You are just, if that child is sleeping, then you're just concerned that you don't wake that child up. But apart from that, do you feel that this is a soul and they are absorbing vibrations and whatever you are doing? So I remember there was this one person, and he was very concerned that nobody should smoke in the room of where their child lives. But then they were not concerned about people fighting in the room. So because they are fighting with low tones, so that was okay. So keep the volume low. You can fight, but keep the volume low. That was the thing, because you don't understand the impact of vibrations, or the anger that you're creating, that's affecting the child. So the thing is, when you're body conscious, you are only aware of that which the 5 sense organs are seeing. You are not aware of the other stuff. You're not aware of the impact of the environment and thoughts and vibrations. You're not aware of the presence of Baba. You're not aware that this every body has an embodied soul in it. And this is why you make mistakes, because you are not, or you are very concerned about the immediate result of your action. So let's say you shouted at somebody and then they kept quiet, then you feel that's success. So in body consciousness, your definition of success is very limited. You are only thinking about what you got immediately. So just even when children are talking, you shut them up, or you ask them to be quiet, and they just keep quiet, and you feel that that is the way to be, that you ask them to keep quiet, they kept quiet. But do you understand the long term implications of that? That child has an unanswered question forever, and that child doesn't know the answer forever. So the thing is, we don't understand the long term impact. So let's say you got angry, and then somebody stopped saying what they were saying, but did they stop thinking the same thing? No. So maybe they are not behaving rudely with you, but their feelings have not changed, and their feelings will not change by shutting them down. So or you stole, or you became corrupt, and you earned something, and you think that, okay, I got it, so this is an achievement. But no, the seed of impure karma that you have sown, you will get it back after some time. So this is the thing about body consciousness. Body consciousness makes you very limited. You can't see the whole picture. You are not in awareness of everything, and then you make bad decisions, and those decisions are what we call mistakes. Because when you are body conscious, you are under the influence of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, because this is what sense perception does to you. So you are only concerned about sensory satisfaction. So, temporary and sensory satisfaction. And lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed give you temporary and sensory satisfaction. So, that pleasure you are running after, and you are making mistakes. So, Baba says that, we have to be very concerned about practicing to be soul conscious. And you cannot become soul conscious without making effort. So one has to make a lot of effort to be soul conscious, because we have been body conscious for 63 births, 21 births of copper age and 42 births of iron age. We have been body conscious. So that body consciousness is not going to go away without practice. So always sit and make this practice, forget the body and the physical world and all the relationships and attainments, and just sit in the awareness that you are a soul, and sit in the awareness of Baba, of the three worlds, of the three aspects of time. Sit in the awareness of the whole picture, the big picture that Baba has shown us, and that which we can perceive only through our intellect. You cannot see the past, present, and future, but you can use your intellect to be aware of that. Yes, so do you understand that when you are aware of the big picture, the only thing that happens is you always put a full stop to everything. Because you see that whatever is concerning you right now, whatever is troubling you right now, is only a very small part of the big picture. And if you look at the whole picture, then this little thing can't concern you. So do you understand that whatever is troubling you about somebody's sanskar, that's just a temporary sanskar of that soul. That soul has had a sanskar of purity. That soul is going to again go to the world of purity, and in the middle this soul has created certain sanskars about which you are getting troubled. So if you just look at the whole picture, then you will stop judging, you will stop criticizing. Because have you seen that when somebody says, your brother is like this and your sister is like this, then you say, no, they are not like that, you misunderstand them, they are very sweet, they were always sweet, but in the middle phase something happened, and the whole story. So this happened and that happened, and then this brother or sister became like this. So then you don't judge them because you know the whole picture. I remember there was this one family, and there were four sisters, and one of the sisters had acute anxiety and depression, and she used to have very abrupt behavior. She would just out of nowhere she would start screaming or something, and everybody was very startled around her. But these other three sisters, they were never startled by her behavior. They were very normal. They felt like, this is the most normal thing to do. And then I asked them, why does her behavior not surprise you? So they said that, we know the whole story, how this happened, how she got married, and then other incidents happened in her life, and then she slowly transitioned into this person. So now we know that this is just a temporary phase because she was not always like this, and she's getting her treatment and she will be fine and better, and we have hope. So you see, knowing the whole story makes you put a full stop to every question mark. So you don't ask, you don't get amazed, you don't question why is this happening. You're not startled or astonished by anything. And Baba says that this is why Baba says practice sitting in the awareness of that which the five senses can't perceive. That is called the spiritual practice. So these five senses can perceive a lot of stuff in the world, but what they can't perceive is you are the soul, and that there is the soul world beyond this, and Baba is there, and then you were the deity, and then you are going to become the deity, and then Baba has come and Baba is teaching you. All these things the five senses can't perceive, but you have to take out time and sit in the awareness of this truth, and you have to sit in the awareness of Baba's presence, and then you will fill yourself with what is called yoga power. And Baba says without this practice you cannot fill yourself with yoga power. And yoga power is very important, and Baba today says that you have to fill yourself with the awareness of the attainments of yoga power. So what can yoga make you do? What are the attainments of yoga power? Who will tell me? So what are the attainments from yoga power? Yes.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
What I feel is that Baba has given us a direction that use yoga ball in everything to reduce the dependency. And suppose I want some help from anyone. Before calling, I create a thought in remembrance of Baba, and I see that it works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work. But when I practice daily in the day-to-day life and things and people, it definitely helps us. This practice.
Correct.
And we can attain everything through yoga, I think. With companionship of Baba, we are not dependent on anything.
Okay. So, Om Shanti, thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om
With
Shanti.
yoga power, I think we absolve ourselves. We are every day becoming purer and purer, going towards Sato Pradhan stage, and our sense of 63 pulse slowly gets absorbed with yoga power.
Correct. And
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, thank you. Yes, Beena Ben wants to share something.
Yeah, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I think yoga makes me to keep silent and to observe me, myself more and I'm trying to become pure and pure. I didn't have those thoughts, even if you say I didn't have, luckily, I didn't have so struggles and thoughts, fortunately, but I was so emotional that I'm very person of overthinking. That made me to join this. And nowadays, attending the yoga and all these practices, I am becoming more and more powerful by mind, and I can ignore things.
Yes.
Whatever comes into my mind, what is the thing I am attaining.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing. So the
Thank
sister
you.
shared that, through yoga power, she has attained emotional, mastery, and she is able to choose her emotions rather than being driven by her sanskars. So this is, of course, the attainment from yoga power. And you see, just like, when you go and study chemistry, you have to understand what every chemical reaction can do. Yes, so you cannot fathom it until and unless you study chemistry. And then when you study it and you are told that, if you mix this and this will happen, then you have to experiment with it and experience it. Yes, so this is the knowledge. Now, Baba says, when the soul remembers Baba, then what happens? So the soul, it is able to imbibe the virtues and the powers from Baba. So the soul becomes powerful. So yoga makes you become powerful. And the virtues and powers that are the treasures of the soul. So Baba is the ocean of purity, peace, love, joy, all powers. And when you have yoga with Baba, you become like Baba. And then knowledge, we receive knowledge from Baba every day. But that knowledge sits in our intellect when we have yoga with Baba. Because Baba is the ocean of knowledge. And Baba gives us the power to absorb the knowledge that Baba gives. So just like, you may take calcium, but then when you have vitamin D, then the calcium gets absorbed. So similarly, you're taking knowledge, but that knowledge doesn't get absorbed until you have yoga with Baba. So this is the thing about yoga. And when you become powerful, then what happens? So one thing that my brothers and sisters shared was that, you become the master of your intellect. Yes, you are able to make good decisions. You are able to have willpower. You become the master of your sanskars. So you are able to choose your sanskars. You are not dependent. It's not like your sanskars dictate your feelings or your mind anymore. You are able to be in a position of self mastery. So this is the attainment from yoga. And then Baba tells us that consequently, because you become the master of your mind, intellect, and sanskars, you become the master of your physical organs. So, this karmendriya jeet. Now, let me tell you that these are karmendriyas, eyes, the whole body. So, it is very difficult to calm your senses without yoga power. So, Baba always says that the sannyasis also, the ascetics, they use medicines to calm their senses. Yes, so they take medicines which calm their senses and help them be celibate. But Baba says you don't need to calm your senses through any external methods. Yoga power can calm your senses. And I will tell you that, even your body language will change. That, that sudden movement of the eyes, or, when we were not in Gyan, then, anything could distract. So anybody entering the room, your eyes will drift to that person, or any sound, your attention will go to that sound. But you become the master of your sense organs. You are able to, regulate your whole body. You are able to have mastery over your taste buds, over your eyes. You see that which you want to see. You hear that which you want to hear. You are able to control your, your desire or your greed for food and drink. And this celibacy becomes very natural. This is the attainment from yoga. Then another attainment which today Baba is underlining is becoming Maya Jeet. So the first one is Karmendriya Jeet, and then the second one is Maya Jeet. What is Maya Jeet? So you see, Maya is, when external situations are able to make you feel pressurized, or make you deceive you. They are able to deceive you and make you act out of vices. That's called Maya. So let's say, you have complete clarity that you want to get up in the morning and remember Baba. Yes. But then you get a fever in the body. And then that fever is not that difficult. It's not making it difficult to get up and remember Baba. But that thought that I can't get up in fever and sit in Baba's remembrance, that thought is not making you remember Baba in the morning. So that's Maya. So, okay, in fever, you can't get up and, work or do some seva. That's fine. But why can't you just, while lying down or sitting, why can't you remember Baba? Are you not thinking while you are in fever? You are thinking. And what is remembrance of Baba? Conscious thinking. So why can't you remember Baba even if you have fever in the morning? So that is Maya. So Maya will trick you into thinking and deciding that you can't do what Baba says, and Maya will make you, deceive you into thinking that you have to act out of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed in a certain situation. And you will not be able to discern that this is lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. Yes, for example, you have complete clarity that when somebody says something, it is not about you, it's about them. But then you will feel bad when somebody says something, and you will say, okay, I understand that when a non-Brahmin, when somebody who is not knowledgeful says something, then it is about them. But when a Brahmin says something, it is very conscious, and they are doing it to hurt me, and I should feel hurt. So do you understand this? So Maya will trick you into believing that you are acting out of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, but you are doing the right thing. And do you know, we have been conditioned for 63 births to not do that which is good for us, but do what is right. Yes, so even if you understand that anger is not good for you, you engaged in righteous anger for 63 births. And now Baba is telling us that anger is never a good idea. But still, Maya will convince you that anger in this situation was the right thing to do. Because, Maya makes your intellect so corrupted that you cannot discern what is right and what is wrong. I was explaining about body consciousness, and body consciousness makes your intellect unable to discern what is right and what is wrong. So Baba says that, when you have yoga power, you will be able to discern that Maya. And that is a very big thing, because, many a times I have seen that 2-3 Brahmins are in the same situation, and that is a situation given by Maya. But one is able to discern that, this is Maya, and I shouldn't overthink, I shouldn't do anything negative, I should stick to my timetable and not get caught into this trap. And 2 others, they get caught in the trap and they fall. And why? Because one is having accumulated yoga power. So this yoga power is very essential for becoming Maya Jeet. And you cannot even discern Maya if you don't have yoga power. So this is the attainment of yoga. And then yoga power makes you, it makes you Prakriti Jeet. So, this body, this body is made of 5 elements. So, the comfort, discomfort, the hunger, the thirst, all these things that happen in the body, disease and everything, you are able to rise above the pull and impact of the condition of the body if you have yoga power. And these things are not possible by any other means other than yoga power. And then, yoga burns your sins, which is the most important. You cannot burn your sins of 63 births without yoga power. So Baba says, keep the attainments of yoga in your awareness, and then you will be motivated to remember Baba and accumulate yoga power. Because if you are body conscious, you never remind yourself of the attainments of yoga. And if you don't remind yourself, hold it in your awareness, then you don't pay attention to having yoga with Baba. So you see, we are Raj Yogis, but the most important thing is the chart of yoga is very less for Raj Yogis. So, and if Raj Yogis did a lot of yoga, and then they wouldn't be, waiting so much to go to the new world. So this is one thing. And then Baba today says that if you want to accumulate yoga power, is practice staying in soul consciousness and remembering Baba. Second is keep the attainments of yoga before you. And then third is, Baba says, put a bead in your mouth, which means keep quiet. Don't speak out of anger. Yes. So don't react, at least verbally. So do you know that when a soul enters the womb, then the soul has realization that I want to correct all the mistakes that I made in the last birth. And the soul is soul conscious in the womb. And then when the soul takes birth, physical birth, after that also, until the soul opens its mouth, until the soul speaks, there is that awareness of the truth that I have come to settle my past karmic accounts. And I will just, pay attention to settling them, and I don't want to create new karmic accounts. But when the mouth opens and when you start talking, then body consciousness consumes the soul, and then instead of settling past karmic accounts, the soul starts creating new ones. So speech is very important. It is very difficult to be soul conscious when you're speaking. Yes, but you can train yourself to speak soul consciously. But when you are speaking that which you shouldn't, then you can never be soul conscious. That is why Baba says, put a bead in your mouth. If you want to have yoga power, talk less. And whenever you feel that, you are going to react verbally or you're going to speak something out of anger, then just keep your mouth shut. Don't open your mouth and utter any such word which will make you lose your connection with Baba. So the moment you speak something which is, out of anger or which is not accurate, then those words will not allow you to stabilize in soul consciousness after that. Yes, so this is a very important thing for yoga power. So Baba says, for accumulating yoga power, you have to pay attention. And when you're not in yoga, when you're body conscious, you make mistakes and Maya deceives you. So this is all about Maya and power of yoga today. Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
In my case, I feel that I am very much reactive in matters of financial losses. Even if I don't do that, it is done by any other member of the family. I think that it is all Baba's. How dare they do this, and then I react every time.
Yes, and, don't justify it like that. Okay, see, understand this.
Okay, understand.
You are not reacting because it is Baba's. You are reacting because of your attachment towards money. And you're justifying it by saying that I'm reacting because I think this belongs to Baba.
Yes,
yes, because Baba loves you more than the money. So if you are losing, if you're losing your peace, Baba, Baba has a greater problem with that than you losing on the finances. Okay. So don't justify it, I have seen many people, when they are in seva, they will get very angry and then they will say that, I got angry because seva is not happening right. But you are spoiling the seva more by getting angry. So this is, all this is justification. And if you keep giving this justification to yourself, you are just, provoking that sanskar more and more. Okay, so
how to get rid of it?
Tell yourself, Baba loves my stage more than the money. Okay, so Baba is more upset when I lose my peace. So I don't, if I have love for Baba, I will care about my stage more than anything else. Yes, so this is one thing you remember. Okay, thank you. Om Shanti. Yes, Achyuta, please. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti,
Om
Didi.
Shanti.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Om Shanti.
Thank you for elaborating very much on yoga power. It's really insightful. My question is today. Today Baba also says that the knowledge. I went through the Murli today. He says that knowledge brings elevation and ascending stage, which is fine. And also he says that devotion belongs to the descending stage.
Yes.
So I could not follow that exactly how it can be.
Yes.
Like that.
Yes, because see, when we are in devotion, we don't work on our vices. Yes, the main vice is lust, and you get married through God's wishes in devotion. So, people are taking all their blessings from God and getting married and falling into lust. So that is, so devotion, and so, or you're praying to God and then going to war and killing people. So devotion and vices, they go together. So devotion tells you that, don't have lust outside of marriage. But inside of marriage, being celibate is like doing the wrong thing. So, so lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed are very much, amalgamated into devotion. They are not separated. So that's why you keep working under the influence of vices and also justifying it because, it is very, according to morality, that's not wrong. So that's why you keep falling and you never feel that, where am I going wrong? So this is about devotion. Okay, thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Okay, let's thank Baba for some time. I am a soul. I turn my attention to my Baba. The ocean of virtues. My Baba is the purifier. Sending the light of purity. And as I sit in my Baba's remembrance, the light of purity enters my heart. And my heart is becoming light and full of light. Just sit with these thoughts for some time.